What happens when an audio brand turns a 54 square meter exhibition stand into an art gallery and decides not to use a single digital screen? For Hi-Fi Audio at High End Show 2026 in Vienna, that was exactly the idea. The products would become museum exhibits, the stand itself would become a gallery, and visitors would be encouraged not only to look, but to touch, test, and listen. But during installation, one unexpected detail arrived at the venue and nearly disrupted the entire gallery layout. This is how the project came together. Hi-Fi Audio wanted a stand that would be immediately recognizable and completely different from the typical technology booths around it. The concept came from the client, while our task was to transform that idea into a practical exhibition space that could actually be produced, installed, and used throughout the show. The 54 square meter stand was open on 3 sides. This gave it excellent visibility, but it also meant that the design needed a strong identity without making the space feel closed or overcrowded. The main front area became the gallery itself. Its walls featured original, hand-painted reinterpretations of classic artworks, with Hi-Fi products integrated directly into the compositions. Under every painting, we printed a short description directly onto the wall, just as you would expect to see in a real museum. The difference was that these exhibits were interactive. Visitors could pick up the products, connect with them, listen to music, and experience the technology for themselves. The stand was not designed to be observed from a distance. It was designed to invite people inside. The layout had to support 3 very different functions without losing the overall concept. At the front, the gallery zone also included the reception and bar. This became the central communication point, where visitors could explore the products and start conversations with the Hi-Fi Audio team. On opposite sides of the stand, we created 2 enclosed meeting rooms. Visually, these rooms were intentionally very different from the main gallery. The graphics, furniture, and lighting created a warmer, more intimate atmosphere, closer to a premium hotel lounge or an elegant pub than a standard exhibition meeting room. Their position was also practical. By placing them on opposite sides of the stand, we created more privacy and reduced the chance of 2 simultaneous meetings disturbing each other. The third zone was hidden from visitors, but it was just as important: a large staff and storage area. Because many people were working on the stand, the space needed a proper table and seating for breaks, substantial storage, and easy access to all technical connections. Most of the Hi-Fi Audio products required electricity, and many also needed a stable wired internet connection. This meant that the infrastructure could not simply disappear behind finished walls. It had to remain accessible in case a device needed to be moved, replaced, or reconnected during the exhibition. The installation took 3 days, and the Hi-Fi Audio team was actively involved in positioning and testing the products. This was a genuinely collaborative process. A device could not be simply placed where it looked best visually. It also needed the correct power supply, internet access, and enough flexibility to be adjusted during the show. The stand was built mainly from a reusable modular system with 3-meter-high walls. We covered the structures with printed fabric graphics, which allowed us to create completely different atmospheres across the stand while keeping the main construction reusable. The most technically demanding architectural element was the custom arch connecting the 2 front sections. Unlike the modular walls, the arch was produced specifically for this project. Every measurement had to be extremely precise so that the custom element would integrate seamlessly with the existing system. Once installed, it looked like a natural continuation of the stand rather than something added afterwards. We also deliberately avoided digital screens. At a show dedicated to audio technology, that decision helped the stand attract attention in a quieter and more physical way. The product's artwork and material details remained the focus. General spotlights illuminated the space, while individual decorative lights above every painting strengthened the gallery atmosphere. The entrance to the storage area required another custom solution. The client did not want a visible standard door, so we concealed the entrance behind a specially made curtain. We ordered theatrical fabric and had it sewn specifically for the project. The visual result was important, but safety was even more important. The fabric was fully fire retardant and compliant with the organizer's technical requirements. For the raised floor, we used a modular system that was new for us. Compared with a traditional wooden platform, it was faster to install and generated less waste. This was particularly useful for a stand with many smaller elements and technical connections, while the final quality and stability remained comparable to a conventional wooden floor. Most of the visible furniture elements, including the product pedestals, reception countertops, and arch, were custom-made. Tables, chairs, and glass display units were rented and integrated into the overall design. And then the paintings arrived. We had received their dimensions in advance and used those measurements to position every description printed on the walls. What we had not seen before exhibition were the physical frames. The paintings arrived in beautiful but extremely thick frames. These frames made every artwork significantly larger than the dimensions we had planned around. Because the spacing between the paintings was intentionally quite small, the framed artworks simply did not fit the layout. The descriptions were already printed directly on the walls, so moving everything was not a realistic solution. After discussing the available options on site, we made the decision to remove the frames completely and hang the artworks without them. It was a major last-minute adjustment, but it allowed us to preserve the original wall composition, keep every description correctly aligned, and protect the gallery concept. Sometimes the smallest unknown detail can affect the entire exhibition wall. Venue logistics added another layer of complexity. Service costs at Austria Center Vienna were noticeably higher than at many other exhibitor venues we work with. After the event, some packaging materials that had been placed into a storage could not longer be located. The vehicle loading procedure was also unusual. Trucks with pre-booked forklift services received priority, while other vehicles had to join a live queue that could last 4 or 5 hours. These situations are frustrating, but they are also part of exhibition work. Detailed planning can prevent many problems, but experience becomes especially important when something unexpected happens and a solution is needed immediately. In the end, the stand became one of the most distinctive spaces at the show. The gallery concept was immediately understandable. The meeting rooms were comfortable and private. The backstage area supported the team throughout the event, and the technical infrastructure allowed the products to function exactly as intended. Most importantly, visitors did not simply walk past and look at the display. They entered, explored the artworks, picked up the products, listened to music, and interacted with the brand. The stand remained busy throughout the exhibition, and every zone served a clear purpose while still belonging to one coherent story. We would like to thank Hi-Fi Audio for their trust, their creative vision, and their close involvement throughout the entire project. A concept like this only succeeds when design, construction, and product experience are developed together. And if your company is looking for an exhibition partner who can transform an ambitious idea into a practical, memorable, and fully functional space, Expo Stand Builder would be happy to bring it to life.